Yeah, that's the thing. Real Madrid needed to make that statement and they needed to get points on the board, knowing that they had the advantage, get in there first and see what Sevilla can do. That's not an easy place to go necessarily.
No, and Sevilla are not the Barcelona of old, you know, that type of tussle. But you have to put pressure on your opponents. When anybody gets close to you and when there's pressure on a certain team, you have to go, you have to do the business, you have to win your games, and you automatically go, right, it's down to you now. And let's see how Sevilla respond. We all want them to respond because we want them to be a title race, don't we? When Barcelona are not doing well and Atletico Madrid have been faltering, we want teams like Sevilla and Betis from that part of the country to do well. So I want them to go and run Real Madrid really close.
And as Craig said, for Marco Asensio, a case of telling people to shut up. And Real Madrid might shut a few people up on the back of the second half performance at least, because people were talking after what happened in Paris.
Yes, they were, and they were talking about what's happened in February to a certain extent, and they have been over-reliant on Vinicius Jr and certainly Benzema. And Vinicius Jr is only 21, so he will fluctuate. His form will fluctuate a bit. Benzema, of course, they need him, and they need him to stay fit. They both got on the score sheet tonight. There was questions asked. The fact that they've both scored will answer a lot of them, and it'll keep a lot of people happy.
Absolutely the case. And I can tell you, Dan, that I actually have a full whole sandwich waiting for me as opposed to the half sandwich that awaits Macca. So
not anymore.
Hey, tell you what, those two.
Looking forward to consuming it.
Those two are going to paint the town red tonight.
Hey, I tell you what.
Macca
Hey, speaking of painting, look at Macca. Hits 50, gets the old fake tan out.
Yeah, well, that's it. It's amazing.
You need to take Derek. Give some to Derek as well, man. Take him to the beach. Meanwhile, pitch side for the game, of course. Alexis Nunes and Luis Garcia as well. A game with two halves, guys.
Yeah, exactly, Dan. I think that's a perfect way to describe it, Luis. And in the end, 3-0 on paper, when you look at it, having not seen the performance from Madrid, I think it's a bit too flattering for what we saw today. But if you're Carlo Ancelotti, do you look at it as, look, it's a win, it was ugly, but we're back on track? Or do you still have some of those concerns going forward?
Not at all. And Ancelotti mentioned in a few times on press conference, sometimes you are not going to play well, sometimes you are not going to dominate the game, sometimes you have to understand that the other team is doing well, that you got moments where you cannot play the best of your game, but at the end, it's a result. And he knows that at the moment it's about results. People here at the stadium is not going to ask for you playing like one of the goals that we've seen, doing backheel and megs and dummies and everything. They're going to expect a result, because against Alaves, you can expect, of course, a Real Madrid doing well, but at the end, getting the 3 points, keeping the distance from Sevilla at this moment. And I think it's the most important, and Ancelotti knows very well.
Does it not bother you a little bit, though, considering Alaves are, fighting relegation, so to speak? This is a Real Madrid that is Real Madrid, and you wanted to see them dominate. We just talked about that this is the perfect performance, not just to send a message in La Liga, but I suppose ahead of this return leg against PSG in the Champions League.
No, definitely they need to think about what they are not doing well, because there is a lot of things that at the moment they are not happening here for the team. And for me, something that it concerns me is that when you play against Alaves, you have to keep the same players that you play against Paris Saint-Germain no longer ago, and you don't give it even minutes to the players that maybe you are going to use, because Mendy is not going to be playing in the game against Paris Saint-Germain, Casemiro is not going to be playing, so you need to think about what are you going to do against that game, and that means that you could use some of the players that you got on your bench, because you're going to need them. They're going to need to have confidence for that game, and today, you could see it. They played maybe 10 minutes at the end, maybe Lucas Vázquez and Marcelo, but I think at the moment there are a lot of things that I think that Ancelotti needs to think about if they want to see this Real Madrid going through in Champions League and also here in La Liga.
So still plenty of questions to ask about Real Madrid, but we also had a lot of questions to ask about Karim Benzema and Vini Jr. They both got on the score sheet today. As a player who, as we talked about earlier, it's natural to go through dips in form, especially Benzema coming back from injury too. These two goals, how much does it help their confidence?
No, a lot. And you could see that in the second half, the moment that the ball start moving faster on the pitch, that they start combining, that they start moving. In the first half, we didn't see much movement from both the players. Benzema a little bit more, but Vinicius was stuck there on the right side. And the moment that he started moving a little bit in the middle, asking for the ball, he started feeling that confidence. And, you could see, what they can do every single time they're on the ball. So at the end, it's about that they feel comfortable in the game, that they trust in each other, and well, they can do that kind of stuff. Beautiful goals.
Beautiful goals indeed for that one. And I mean, I suppose going forward for Real Madrid, as Dan was just saying, Sevilla now, the pressure's kind of on them to catch it. Real Betis, of course, are in the mix right now. But if you're Real Madrid, you're still kind of feeling a bit comfortable. Is that too early to say that word?
No, of course you have to feel comfortable. The problem is when you arrive here, then you drop 2 points or you lose the game, and then you start seeing Sevilla getting more trust in themselves and start pushing higher and closing the gap. But today it was 3 points. It was a performance that, of course, a lot of things to work. In the second half, we could see a few brilliant moments from Real Madrid, and that's the most important for them. They have to go back, rest, and get ready for the next game and see what happens with Sevilla.
One player I do want to talk about quickly, I suppose, is Marco Asensio, the other goal scorer tonight. Craig pointed it out perfectly, which I think sums it up. You know, he does tend to score these clutch goals when Real Madrid need him every now and again, but he's also culpable of a number of mistakes. How do you rate him, I suppose, in this Real Madrid front three? Because, like we said, there tends to be a mistake in him. He does tend to cop a lot of flack from the fans. We know that they were booing him a couple of times, which is why he kind of did a little shh and then pointed to the crest after once he scored. But what do you see of his role?
I think that at the moment he's having the best season at Real Madrid,
right?
Talking about goals, and he's getting more minutes, getting more confident. It's true that sometimes for moments during the game, he's not involved into the game. He's playing very wide. He likes to play a little bit more in the middle, to be more combining with the players in the midfield. And when you have to wait in your position, waiting for the ball to arrive, it's not always the best thing. And much more for a player who is not normally getting the ball like Vinicius and trying to be players 1v1. He likes to get, to combine, and when he's close to the box, showing like that what he's done today, because it's not the first time he's done it. So at the end, of course, as the season continues to move forwards, it's going to continue being very, very important. And at the moment, I think he's the third one in the top scorer here for Real Madrid, and in La Liga, he's one of the best ones. So I think he's doing a great job.
All right, well, there you have it, Dan. I suppose, as Luis said, still a lot of concerns for Carlo Ancelotti for this Real Madrid team, because we all know that in a couple of days' time, the main one that they are looking ahead to is that clash with PSG, and that's exactly what the fans want to bounce back to win. Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube, and for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app, and for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN+.